Soccer. For generations, it has been a universal language for young people just about everywhere. It is the world's game. But in the Atlanta suburb of Clarkston, Georgia, the sight of it being played is still something new.
There has been a very, very dramatic change in Clarkston over the past 20 years. Clarkston sort of has become like Ellis Island for the state of Georgia.
Affordable housing and an easy commute to the city have made Clarkston an ideal place for relief agencies to settle an estimated 3,000 refugees here, half the town's population. These soccer players have come to Clarkston in the aftermath of terrifying events in their native lands.
Kosovo,
Ethiopia, Somalia.
Teenagers scarred by what they have witnessed in the war-torn lands and refugee camps of their pasts.
Bosnia,
Afghanistan,
Liberia.
Why did you need to leave Liberia?
Because of war.
Yet at a time of great upheaval and desperate uncertainty in a new place, this woman has provided hope and structure and a chance to succeed. She is Luma Mufla, and by her own resolve and imagination, she has given these young people a soccer team to call their own. They are the Fugees.
We are the Fugees!
You take out the R-E and it's Fuji, it's catchy, and it still reminds us like who we are, you know, so like we're not Arsenal or Manchester United, we're refugees, we're Fugees. It's an identity I think that we all hold on very strongly to.
Born and raised in Amman, Jordan, Luma Mufla is not a refugee herself. A graduate of Smith College, she spent 4 years coaching well-financed youth soccer teams in the South before the day in 2004 that she drove through Clarkston.
Clarkston reminded me of home because when I drive by, it would be kids out in the neighborhoods just out kicking and arguing about whether that was a handball or not, or if it was a goal or not.
She dreamed of putting together a youth soccer team that wasn't about pushy parents or win-at-all-costs competitiveness. So she decided to hold tryouts for a team here.
I thought it would be, you know, just a typical coaching, that I would coach a team twice a week and games on weekends, and that would be it, just like other teams I'd coached before.
Yet from the first practice, it was clear to her just how economically deprived these players, their families, and this team would be. Without any affluent families to support the team, the Fugees would have to survive with the most minimal equipment and resources.
None of them had cleats. The only soccer balls we had were the 3 or 4 that I bought in my bag. One kid was playing with one shoe on. I mean, no shin guards, nothing, and they were just going crazy all over the field. It was refreshing.
Now Coach Luma runs drills, gives instruction, and offers encouragement.
Up, not dancing, get it up. There you go.
But off the field, she is a confidant to these players who have shared with her stories of their violent homelands.
I'm not that good talking to someone, but when I found my coach, I talk to her about anything.
Like Kanu and his uncle from Liberia, a country torn apart by hideous bloodshed.
Where is his mother?
Kind mother now, I cannot locate her now because of the war. I don't want to make him to feel discouraged. So when sometimes he say, oh, where is my mother? I say, your mother is in Africa.
What would it be like to see her?
Oh, happy day.
One kid talked about how his father was shot in front of him.
How did he tell you that story?
Well, I was telling him, you need to get this paper signed by your mom or dad. And he's like, my dad is dead. And I was just quiet. And he's like, I saw him shot. And I was still quiet. You know, I didn't know how to react. Like, how do you react when, you know, a kid's telling you that? And then I was like, are you okay? And he's like, yeah. And he's never brought it up since then.
Thanks to Coach Luma, this is a team blessed with a unity of purpose. A team filled with diversity and difference, but a team all the same.
Having seen the violence they've seen, that's a very powerful experience. And if you have 12 to 15 kids that have that same experience, it makes you a stronger team. They don't have violin lessons or basketball or football. That's all they have. So they give their all to it. The soccer field's a refuge for all of us. Is our getaway and our escape.
Above all, Coach Luma has believed that the only chance these players have to succeed is through discipline and education. She makes these players sign this agreement before they can join the Fugees. She has instituted mandatory weekly sessions with tutors and helped out with schoolwork.
A lot of times after practice, I would go to the houses of the kids and do homework till about 10 or 11 at night, because I'd do 2 or 3 houses a night, and then...
Wait a minute, how'd you go from being a soccer coach to all of a sudden being their homework coach?
Well, you know, they're asking for help, and their parents can't read or write, so who's going to help them with their homework?
She's tough on your education. Like when she's tough on you, she's tough on you to benefit you.
For the challenges these players and their families face, like David and his mother, are enormous.
I need a home, I need an education for my children, I need a job to support my family, and finally, I need money to dress and feed my children.
What would you see in these kids' faces that would give you hope?
Their smile. You know they're going to do whatever they set their minds to.
They must have set their minds to something remarkable. On January 21st, the New York Times published a page-one article about the Fugees, and days later, the film rights were bought in a deal that could eventually be worth some $3 million, money that in large part would go towards education for these players and for players still to come. Coach Luma broke the news to her team.
They stood up, started clapping. One of the kids like, we're going to go to college now. You know, it's like... So.
How'd that make you feel when he said that?
They got it.
On a Georgia field built for football, now used for a game the world calls its own, this coach and these players had earned an undreamed of reward.
You may not be able to get their parents to where you want them, but maybe you can get the kids to where you need them to be. Setting up scholarship funds, making sure we have a place to play, room to study in. We have very basic needs. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Go Fugees!
With the movie money yet to arrive, it is Luma's guidance and encouragement that makes anything possible. For a city remade by its refugees, and for its courageous young people.
As she begins to give these kids hope, it will spread just like grass on a field, and she will help make Clarkston a better place.
You coach these players, you have to be tough on them. Do you love them?
I do love them. Some days more than others, but I do love them.